We are a year into the pandemic now, and an upswing of the pandemic, if you can call it that, or a benefit, is I think we have a bigger sense of community coming out of this pandemic. We're talking to our neighbors now. We're supporting our local restaurants, our local businesses more. The downside, the scammers are out there in full force because so many of us are spending so much more time online. As you know, my husband fell victim to one of these online scams as well. And to talk a little bit more, we are going to bring in Melanie Duquesnel. She is the CEO for the Michigan Better Business Bureau here in Southeast Michigan. Always great to have you with us.
Thanks, Ronnie. I really appreciate it.
You know what's sad, though? I love what you guys do over there at the BBB, but it's sad that we even need you.
I know. And the sad thing is that we've been around for over 100 years trying to protect our communities. So the scammers don't seem to let up, but we're going to keep educating and trying to protect everybody and create that trusted marketplace.
And despite how much we talk about it, they're getting more creative and wittier as time goes on. And now, in the middle of the pandemic, we have so many people that are maybe getting their unemployment through direct deposit. Obviously, right now, the big thing is about the stimulus check, but also the vaccine. How does that add in to some of these scams that people are falling for?
Well, it's also tax season right now. So the one thing that we're finding some of our consumers getting in the mail is a 1099-G, which is actually an unemployment tax statement saying that your Social Security was awarded some unemployment. Well, you may have worked through the whole pandemic, so this is very troubling. So you have now officially been hacked. Your IRS tax returns potentially have also been hacked. So now you have some homework to do. So when you're looking at that, and then from those that have not necessarily had the 1099-G show up in their lap, but they want to protect themselves from the virus themselves, we're actually about to launch an investigation to the public about someone who has collected over $4.4 million to release a clear type mask. And we're not quite there yet, or otherwise I'd tell you all the good parts of it. But it's really sad that they did it through a crowdfunding site, and people thought that they were going to be able to protect themselves. It was going to be more effective than an N95 mask. And little did they know that they were really being scammed during a time where they thought they were really going to be helping out the community to keep them safe.
And that is really sad to know that people are taking advantage of the big hearts right now. And with that, what goes in to the investigations that you and your agency conducts?
Generally, it's initiated by a consumer coming to us going, this doesn't feel right, or this doesn't look right. And we start to kind of peel the onion layers back. So in this particular case, we had somebody come to us and say, it's in your backyard. It's they're saying that they're going to be releasing this mask, and we've been fighting with them for over a year. Difficulty is that we can't even talk to the business owner. We can't even get our mail to be fully delivered. We literally walked ourselves over to where their office is, and the business that's there says there's never been a business like this at this location. So we put our little Nancy Drew hats on, and we, toddle around and try to unearth it. And we also work with legal authorities, local law enforcement, as well as all the way up to the Michigan State Attorney General's office. So we do our best to kind of unearth things. I don't want to take away from Ronnie Dahl's investigative reporting, but we try to do that as well. So, when we're doing that, we really try to, I want to make it clear that if there is a legitimate business that somehow things kind of fell apart, especially during the pandemic. Yeah. And you're all of a sudden getting increased complaints and those kind of things. We're going to try to help you manage through it because, you may have gone through overnight growth spurt that you couldn't keep up with because your online sales went out of control. Because you're closed, people are complaining because they can't get access to their products. BBB is here to help with those. And those also kind of turn into investigations as well. So when you hear BBB knocking, it's not always bad news. It can be very helpful, engaging, and trying to put the company's best foot forward if there's a best foot forward to put forth.
Oh, right. But it's trying to balance those two sides as well.
Right.
For the legitimate businesses, this is your opportunity and your chance to come clean.
Absolutely.
But if you're not, we're coming after you. But one of the things we've seen, Melanie, so many of these scam artists are overseas, and even our local police departments can't do a lot.
Correct. So there's a couple of things that we're asking folks to do on everyone's behalf. BBB has a website called Scam Tracker, where you can report receiving phone calls, solicitations by mail or by text. And if you just Google BBB Scam Tracker, it should pull up right in the first page, not a problem. Fill in as much information as you can. One of the things that I know that Michigan State Police has been very helpful to them is if we can start to record phone numbers. Now, mind you, scammers can spoof a phone number, make it look like the IRS, make it look like, local law enforcement, et cetera, et cetera. But the more times we're able to collect those kind of bits of information, the better off they can do any of their investigation. Point that I have to give you is there was a woman up in the Gaylord area Grayling, that she comes up to me and she says, I've been getting all these phone calls about my DTE account information. And I said, oh, really? What about? Well, they wanted to verify my address and my phone number, and they also wanted to verify the last 4 digits of my social. And she goes, at first I was like, okay, that's all right. It's only 4 digits. It's not a big deal. Fast forward 6 weeks, and DTE calls back again and asks for the same basic information, but the first 5 digits of her social, and that lit off all kinds of alarms. And so she wrote down the phone numbers, did not give them the 5 digits, hung immediately up on them. Come to find out that it was a friend of her grandson's trying to get her personal information so he could use it toward his own device, not toward hers. So you always have to have that Rolodex of information and conversations that you've had before to make sure that you don't inadvertently give up too much information.
And with that, we hear the stories over and over, but they have become so witty and they look so legitimate.
Right.
I've received a couple from Amazon. It makes it look like you ordered something from Amazon.
Right.
I'm like, wait, I didn't order that. And then you would normally click on it on your phone.
Right, a link.
But now I learned the last time, stop and let me go to my actual Amazon account. But
Right.
with that, how can people really tell the difference between the ones that look so real? Netflix is the other big one, and
Right.
Amazon seem to be the two I'm getting hit with a lot.
Yeah.
And which ones are really legitimate?
Well, and the sad thing is that at this point, your best bet is to just go to your account. Go and type in the web address into the URL bar and navigate from your perspective. You have to remain in the driver's seat. We tend to want to be reactionary and sorry to say it, but lazy. And we want to just click that link and go. UPS is another one. You're supposed to be getting a delivery of something. And trust me, there isn't a person on the planet that doesn't want to get something free or a gift from somebody. So we all want to just click it and go. But the difficulty is that it's going to load malware or it's going to take you down a rabbit hole that you're not going to be able to get out of safely. So just if it looks like it's something you may have ordered, then go to UPS or Amazon or Netflix or wherever the site is. And then when you're also looking at shopping, when you're looking at Facebook, something pops up and it looks really adorable. It's a ring, it's some piece of art or something like that.
Mine is all the animal stuff.
Exactly. Exactly.
Animal mask, animal socks, animal pictures of my dog.
Do yourself a quick favor. Do not click the link in Facebook. Actually take the name of the company and Google it. And the reason being is that Facebook does not vet their advertisers. They have no idea, for most part, what continent they are on. And it may look like a great ad, but you may find out the minute you put the company name and you put the phrase reviews into Google, you may find out it's the last place in the world you want to give your money up to.
And Melanie Duquesnel with us here on the MegaCast. She's the CEO for the Michigan Better Business Bureau here in our area. It's so great having you on because I fall for those Facebook ads, by the way, especially around Christmas time. And it was like, put your pet's picture on the mask and the socks and this, that, and the other. So even people such as myself and Melanie, my husband fell victim to one of these scams. That was a Microsoft one, and I was not home because that one I would have stopped him from, but I was not home and he followed through and I was scratching my head. You're not getting your money back.
No.
We should it's the gift card scam. Anytime someone asks you to go purchase gift cards, he fell for it.
Red flag. Yep. And the difficulty is that we call those imposter scams, where they're posing as somebody of importance. It might be Microsoft because of your computer.
Yep.
And generally the one, and no disrespect to him because I know who he is, it's not, the elderly that are stuck in their houses fall the most times to that one because that is their real connection to the outside world during COVID. But the other one is the IRS, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, romance scams, and grandparent scams. You know, so they're saying, you know, in the grandparent scam, hey, Johnny, who's overseas, not in COVID, but, or maybe he's locked up in Omaha, Nebraska, needs money for bail. And grandma doesn't want, you know, her daughter or son to know that Johnny's in jail. So she's going to send him money. They ask for gift cards. And the two top gift cards, which I was actually surprised with, are eBay. Was the first one. I did not expect eBay. The second one is Amazon. I did expect that one. And then the third is Target. So basically what they do with that is that they don't need the physical card. They just need the numbers on the back of the card. And the minute you load that card with any sort of currency, it's gone within moments. And I mean moments. I don't mean minutes. I mean moments.
Yeah.
Because what they're going to do is that they're going to take that gift card, buy something at whatever the retailer is, and then quickly sell it or return it.
Well, we so appreciate your time and all the work that you and your staff are doing over there and trying to inform us of all of this.